license were a must on a road trip. The world's largest road runner in Texas, the largest ball of twine in Kansas. But thousands still go way after way here in the California desert, 2.5 hours from San Diego, just to see Salvation Mountain near Slab City. And when you see Leonard Knight's lifelong project...
In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. And at some point, also made dinosaurs.
Shortly thereafter, God said, actually, never mind about the dinosaurs. You would think his next creation would be a little less vicious, but he works in mysterious ways. This is apparent, of course, because his very next creation was people. People made roads, and on those roads, they made businesses. Then they made bigger roads that bypassed the businesses. And then, oddly enough, people made dinosaurs. This is the story of another instance within the heavens and the earth that very big, very weird things started to go extinct. It's the story of an architectural critic from New York abandoning his life to drive back and forth across the country. It's about a 20-something-year-old that this year spent her life savings on an abandoned railroad watering station in the middle of the desert. But above all, it's about the creation and preservation of subjectively beautiful things. At its most romantic, I think the Great American Roadside is kind of like an ever-changing sculpture of our current circumstance. All of us are contributors to this art piece because the country is our canvas. On a Vermont night in 1969, Leonard Knight heard the voice of God. He felt compelled to spread the message that he had received, that God is love and love is universal. And in a story stranger than fiction involving a homemade hot air balloon, an abandoned World War II training camp, and a devastating rainstorm of biblical proportions, over 5 decades later, we have the current version of Salvation Mountain. Until the day he died, Leonard Knight refused to consider himself an artist. And yet, I am not alone in believing that as far as Americana art goes, this is one of our finest. The California State Land Commission wants to sell the Section 36 plot of land that Salvation Mountain is on. At the time of recording, the nonprofit that's set up to save and preserve this work of art has only raised about 9% of their goal.
If you ever find yourself in a place like Jackass Joe's UFO Jerky, it's easy to assume, well, this place has just been here forever, and it always will be. But the truth is that's not actually the case. It turns out places like this disappear faster than they pop up. And we know that because a guy named John was keeping track.
Have you ever been somewhere, specifically in the United States, where you look around and in every direction, every building looks exactly the same? If so, you might find some comfort in knowing you're not the only one to notice. You are in the company of architectural critic John Samuel Margolies. Around the same time that Leonard Knight started constructing Salvation Mountain, John had just secured funding for a project that an editor at the New York Times described as an articulate plea against the homogenization of the American landscape. John took over 11,000 photos of what he considered to be architectural oddities. These are photos of our country's flavor. Objects not made by an artist or a sculptor, just normal people trying to say, by any means necessary, hey, we're here. There's a level of heartbreaking sincerity, one, in the fact that these things ever existed, and two, in the reality that a lot of them don't anymore. There was never an art market for this stuff. There's no collectors. There's just countless backstories necessitating their existence, and then time inevitably erasing them. John's photo collection, now titled Roadside America, is not only credited with helping shape the postmodernist movement, but it's also maybe the biggest publicly accessible wake-up call. It's impossible not to notice some of the flaws on these things. But in spite of those flaws, it's still not hard to find the surreal beauty of these obscure relics. A lot of people consider this medium of art roadside trash, and there is for sure some of that. Not every painting is a masterpiece. Not every strange roadside sculpture is Salvation Mountain. But in a world where AI paintings are winning art contests, and the scripts for movies and documentaries are being generated by large language models, I think there's something to value and celebrate in the fact that these things can't be generated. They can't be replicated. They're the byproduct of lived human experience.
Here's one in Utah called Hole in the Rock. No further details necessary, I guess. The tours here last 12 minutes, and over 15 years ago, I took a tour here. And I remember every detail of those 12 minutes. So that's worth something, I guess.
If a future civilization were to find evidence of us now, what would we want them to find?
I think that's a cactus made of bowling balls. Why is it a cactus made of bowling balls?
Would we even want them to find our huge franchises and homogenous housing developments?
If there wasn't a barbed wire fence, we could check out the gorilla on the roof, complete with nipples.
I think a lot of us would rather them find something imperfect, something that documents our somewhat heartbreaking sincerity.
You already did the elephant, the gorilla on the roof, the bowling ball cactus. You might as well throw in an FDR memorial while you're at it.
Because after all, the act of making something for the hypothetical audience of the potential passerby is not new. It's a heritage that we've been participating in almost since we took things over from the dinosaurs. Maybe now more than ever, it's important that real people make real, physical things. For most of us, that doesn't entail dumping our livelihoods into an abandoned plot of land somewhere off Interstate 70, or dedicating an entire summer to creating an art piece that pays homage to the history of roadside art. But for some of us, it does.
So technically, it's illegal for me to live on this property full time. So. Hi, I'm Kara Bard, and I bought a ghost town in Utah. I'm trying to start an artist residency program and then also open a bike shop. Yeah, so I saw the property for sale for a long time. I had come back from doing a summer service trip. Not really. I was a seasonal employee for a backcountry bikepacking hut system in southern Utah. And I'm like, well, this is sick. But when I got back to Moab, all I could think about was opening my own hut system. And then I noticed this property came for sale, but it was a little out of my price range. It was like $275,000 by the time I found it. And then on November 11th, 2024, because it was 11/11, I noticed the price got dropped by $200,000. Yeah, so I was like, oh shit. And it's like, would it be questionable? Oh, for sure. But do I want to do it anyway? Yes. So that was basically the moment I decided that I might have a future in Cisco. It's cute in there, and there's like shelves and stuff, and there's even a rug. Honestly, this might be nicer than my cabin. What the fuck? My dad's side of the family is French Canadian. They're from Quebec. And so my dad was showing my grandmother this listing, and Claire, she was like, Cara, don't live in that cabin. Cara, you're gonna be lonely. That's just like the one thing I remember most, is her telling me I'm gonna be lonely, like don't buy this place. And I was like, but what a gift to be lonely in this place.
Are you less lonely than you expected or more lonely than you?
Less. I'd say less so. You exist as an individual within a community, so you have to bring in the community aspect, or else like your time out here is gonna be miserable.
You're the postman here.
That's correct. I'm not a technical postman. I have a contract to deliver the mail to Cisco and Taschen. When the last post office box was rented here, it increased by 50%. We had 2, and then we had 3. So the 3 people that we deliver the mail to. Well, right now Cisco is struggling, but if I had to say one sentence, I would say a struggling historic town. And there were actually places all along.
Yeah, there's all these towns that are gone now.
And all of them didn't. This was a major town. They had a gang here. They actually had families that lived here.
He's my favorite.
The previous owner showed up, and if you like look at the other properties around here, you can kind of get a general sense of the state of Cisco previous to Eileen's arrival. And they single-handedly rebuilt a lot of these structures out here and had things moved to the property in order to save them. They just took a methodical, brutish approach, just in terms of like, it's just work and work and work and work in terms of how much they did out here. They're also an artist, and they also wanted to bring other artists on board with it. So they started this Artist Residency program out here. This is the Artist Residency billboard. So yeah, you can deposit your money in this here washer dryer. I check it maybe once a month. Currently all that is in there is a couple quarters that I put there. So really flush operation we have here for the nonprofit, as you can tell. We have a lot of funding. It just takes so long to get any project done, and to do an entire property like this, it's just insane. I couldn't have done it. The only reason I felt like comfortable stepping in is because a lot of the work is done. Like the bones are good and the bones are strong, but the reason the bones are so fortified is because of Eileen. So, I mean, I can't take credit for that. That was already on site. So I was really grateful for the foundation that I had here to kind of start up the next thing, so. I feel like I almost returned to this sense of childlike wonder. Within working within normal constraints, things aren't possible, but here you have to zoom out because it's already atypical. It's just a question of like, how can we do it differently? Or like, oh, if this is possible, then what else is possible? It almost makes me like want to throw out my entire process and start from scratch. That's what Cisco makes me do. It's an isolation zone for parties for the most part. Perhaps another skate feature? I don't know. We'll figure it out. The couch showed up for the last party. There was like another bed and another couch over here. Everything else left except this. So, I mean, it's fine. They were going to make Cisco a toxic waste smelter. And like the parcel we're sitting on now, like where my cabin is, which is clearly residential, which has been here since at least the 40s, if not the 20s. It's absurd. They're saying it's heavy industrial is the zoning. So technically it's illegal for me to live on this property full time. So. Cisco has always been really outlaw. I don't know. Someone else's dump is another girl's treasure. I really dig my pile of trash out here. It's pretty neat.
Six years ago, I was on a road trip. I'd already been in the car for 5 hours, so I decided to pull over at my favorite pile of trash. I've been to Cisco many times in my life, but this time, as I stretched my legs, I found something I hadn't seen before. It was an abandoned trailer with a love note written ransom note style on the side. What I didn't know when I captured this shot in 2019 is that the trailer would become one of my favorite works of art ever. For years, I've dreamed of seeing it one last time, but there's a big problem. There it is.
It's kind of a bigger trailer. It's bigger than I remember.
I don't know when or how the trailer tipped over. I just know the love note was left facing the ground. My friend Andrew, who just so happens to have a very big truck, knows I'm completely obsessed with this thing.
It's probably just gonna rip the frame off the base.
Immediately gonna rip off the trailer.
Yeah.
This is like 3 times the size that I thought this trailer was.
Well,
We can try. We can.
yeah. I mean,
definitely do it.
we'll worry about this tomorrow. This
we
whole thing. Oh my God! I dragged you halfway across the state.
2 states.
2 states. Sorry, 2 states.
We don't get to choose the things we're inspired by, it just happens. We do, however, get to choose how to implement that inspiration. I visited Salvation Mountain for the first time last year. I was so moved that Leonard Knight dedicated so much time translating his inspiration into something physical. It motivated me to start making clay models of things I appreciate. I love the spirit of this wiener dog I met named Wayne, so I made a model of him. I'm a big fan of the carefree movement of car lot noodle guys, so I made one. And of course, I can't stop thinking about the heartbreaking sincerity of the Cisco Love Note trailer, so I made that too. Having that model sitting on my desk was driving me crazy. I couldn't fully accept the fact that I may never see the love note again in my life. In an act of reckless curiosity, I decided to do some research into the current ownership of the town of Cisco. And that is how I met the very awesome, very weird Kara Bard. I told her about the trailer. I told her about the love note. And I asked if it was okay with her if me and Andrew could go out to Cisco and try and flip it back over.
I mean, it's always about the experience that's paramount. It's not about results.
Yeah.
It's not about results. It's about the process.
I don't think it's gonna work. I think we're gonna definitely pull it apart really well.
It had been a long time since I'd seen the trailer, and unfortunately, it was much larger than I'd remembered. It was also filled to the brim with junk. Not to mention the frame, which is the only solid part of the structure, was beginning to peel off the body of the trailer. Even though no one was optimistic, we all wanted to try. So we did.
There was a time when odd attractions were a must on a road trip. The world's largest road runner in Texas, the largest ball of twine in Kansas.
And this is a love story that is staggering to everybody in the whole world.
I'm privileged that God let me work on this a little bit because I really was not worthy of it.
Wow. I did not expect that to work. What?
It's like they took all of the lettering down.
They totally did.
Graffiti's still there.
Maybe did they just fall? I mean, no, I think they literally got taken off. Because there was so many of them.
I was gonna say
It used to be, so it was written with these. Someone else liked it as much as I did.
It's almost like they like strategically took some of them and left some of them.
I know. It looks like Darling is still here.
Here's the artist tag.
No way, really?
Yeah.
I think we unhook and see if we can just push it back over.
I agree. Yeah, I agree.
Mm-hmm.
I am gonna really quick. I think I'm gonna take. Do you think it's in?
No, you should do it.
You should absolutely do it.
And so, Venite Ad Me Omnes. Come see what the intersection of circumstance and spectacle is capable of producing.
Breaststroke and the butterfly and the